All right. Okay, Blake, I did my What the Hollywood yesterday.
What the what?
And there was a lot of really good news that I couldn't get into. One of them was the kind of true crime of the Ghost Adventures star Aaron Goodwin and his wife, the murder for hire plot. He had his day in court and all that. The other thing, though, is that, you know, I love true crime and I love documentaries about cults. And so lately, the word on the street is that a lot of people are really worried about Justin Bieber being a part of a cult. But did you see his recent Instagram stories yesterday?
No.
Okay, he keeps reposting comments on his, social media posts. It's like, please, Justin, get some help. We want to save you from the cult. And he is like hitting back at people, being like, you know nothing about me, all this stuff. I don't know what cults Justin Bieber could be a part of. It's just kind of ambiguous at this point because he was really ingrained in that church years back. Then I believe the pastor had a lot of scandal with him. I don't know, but you haven't been keeping up with any of that?
No, all I know is the more I hear about this poor man is how I'll describe him. That man has enough money. Him and his wife both have enough money. He should be put in some serious help because whatever is happening right now, I feel so bad. And here's the thing, I get there's a lot of things attributed to that. Rough childhood, young child star. Also, he's linked to a lot of the Diddy stuff, which is just horrible, and a lot of it's not great. So I get it, but I'm also like, you have the resources to get help that not all people have the ability to get. So I mean, his wife just sold her her makeup company for $1 billion or whatever it was to Elf. So I'm like, come on.
Okay, I did see that too, because he could stand to make a good chunk of change from Road Beauty, which is Hailey Bieber's beauty line. Hailey Road Bieber. So, it is pretty crazy. And I think that we're going to be talking to our West Coast bestie in just a second, because he's got a little bit more information about this whole Justin Bieber cult thing. He's getting tips from somebody that was part of the Waco, Texas Davidian cult as well. So do we have Michael? Is he available yet? Okay, checking
mics. Okay.
So
I will say though, I say that he should get help, and I do believe that, but also I do not envy him, and I do feel bad for him. So yeah.
Okay, well let's bring in the expert on all of it, TMZ's Michael Babcock, our West Coast bestie. It is always a good Wednesday to see you, Michael Babcock.
Hey, Maddie. Hey, Blake. How you doing, guys?
We're awesome. How are you?
Good. Hopefully you can see and hear me here. Hopefully
we can hear and see you. Great.
Good. Beautiful.
Looking
How you
good,
doing?
sounding good. Okay, let's dive into this Justin Bieber Davidian cult tips, tricks, and all the things.
So we talked to this guy. His name is David Thibodeau, and he was, like you said, he was actually a survivor of the Waco, Texas siege, and he obviously has seen what a real life cult looks like, up close. He has seen what can happen. Obviously, we know people who lost their lives, kids. It's it's been well documented, obviously. But anyway, a lot of people think that this church home that Justin Bieber attends with this Judah Smith, the pastor, they think that he's in a cult, and because of that, we talked to this guy, and he says, look, he says you've got to just listen to your stomach, listen to your gut. If you feel like, in Justin's case, if he feels like something is not right here and it just doesn't feel good to him, if something feels off, he says that's when you've really got to, pay attention. And if you're in a dangerous situation, you've got to get out of it. Now, for Justin, and David points this out, he says this church, it's not like they're living under the same roof, like was happening in Waco. It's not even like they're meeting all that often. I mean, this is, from what we've been told, this is a group or a congregation that gets together maybe once a month, maybe a little bit more than that, but it's not very frequently. It's certainly not every day. It's not even every week. So I don't know that sounds like a cult to me, but the bottom line is a lot of people think that this church has changed Justin. There are people who are really good friends of his who are not in his life anymore. I mean, the guy who was his best man at his wedding, this guy, Ryan Good, they're not friends anymore. So he has lost people seemingly because of this church. But again, I don't know that it sounds like a cult, but certainly people in Justin's life don't like it.
Yeah.
I can say that much.
It makes me think of too, I feel like, and we kind of talked about this with you before, I think a little bit, but he's just had a lot of interesting influences because Justin Bieber also that was baptized by the big Hillsong pastor who had the big scandal a few years ago, and that was the whole thing as well.
Yeah, I know, absolutely, and that was a pretty big deal at the time. And yeah. Look, I mean, it's hard because if he's trying, if you're trying to be spiritual and religion is something that is actually helping Justin, then you don't want to say, hey, don't do that, and that should theoretically be a good thing for his life then. So, I think if you asked him, he would say, yeah, I know this has been really good for me. But again, the people close to him would say, maybe not so much. And it's just part of a wider situation with Justin Bieber right now. In fact, that you go back some time a few months ago, we made a documentary about Justin Bieber, and we looked at what's going on, looked at this alleged drug abuse, and could there be substance abuse issues that he's having, and I think a lot of people are really worried about him right now. Bottom line, they don't think he looks good. They think he's been acting erratically, and I think the church is probably just one part of that.
Yeah. I'm curious too. Maddie and I were chatting about this before you joined us, Babcock, but do you think there's any signs or any hope for maybe him getting some much needed help? Because I was telling Maddie, unlike a lot of people, Justin and his wife both definitely have the money and resources to get him the proper help. So I'm a little bit confused why, if all these people are concerned about him, why we haven't taken that step.
Yeah. And look, and if you listen to Justin, though, he'll say, I'm good. Nothing wrong here. So, but again, a lot of people, you look at some of these things, and I think it's hard to say, all right, well, something doesn't seem a little bit off here. So yeah, I don't know. I think probably the answer, Blake, is until he feels that he needs that kind of intervention from somebody else. Sure. Yeah, certainly they've got the resources. Although he has now sold his music catalog for $200 million. Go back a little bit of time here, but he was having money trouble a few years ago, and then that's what actually prompted the sale of that big money music catalog, which a lot of people close to him said, "Hey, that's not a good idea, Justin. You're still so young in your career, and you could really make a lot more money in the long run owning your own music." But he needed the money at the time, and he goes and he sells the catalog. Since now his wife Haley has sold her portion of her beauty line for hundreds of millions of dollars. So the entire thing was valued around $1 billion. She didn't own the whole company, though. So nonetheless, they've got money. So we don't need to do a collection. Yeah, we don't need to do a collection for them. They're okay.
And really quick, Babcock, we don't have too much time left, but Aaron Rodgers, okay, is he married, engaged? What is going on?
He's married.
He's married?
To whom is the question,
Himself,
Maddie,
probably.
Yeah.
it could be good. You know what? Maybe, Blake. So he's been seen with this ring on, and a lot of people have said, is that a wedding ring on Aaron Rodgers' finger? Well, he gets to Steelers a mini camp, their first practice essentially, and he just signed a 1-year deal with them. And they ask him, one of the reporters, is that a mood ring on your hand? They're trying to ask it in a slick way, and he goes, no, it's not a mood ring, it's a wedding, it's a wedding ring, and I've been married for a couple of months. So very typical. Aaron Rodgers, this is how he would announce his wedding. We have no idea. We haven't even seen him with with anybody recently. So who the wife is anybody's guess, but he is apparently married, according to Aaron Rodgers himself.
Well, we know you guys at TMZ and TMZ Sports are going to find that out as soon as possible. So keep us posted, Babcock.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Well, you can catch TMZ weekdays at 5 p.m. and TMZ Live weekdays at 2 p.m. And you guys, coming up right here on Unscripted.